Hey everybody, Michael O'Connell here with Neil Canongo, aka Dr. Spotfire, and a cast of others who are involved in the TIBCO Analytics Forum next week to give you a preview. TIBCO Analytics Forum, June 13th to 15th, next Monday, Wednesday. It's a free digital event. The theme of the meetup is analytics in time and space. We'll be taking you on a tour of analytics in time and in space. We have a number of great speakers, including two really special speakers. I don't know, do we have Fred on, Neil?
Fred is on.
Yeah, I'm right here, Michael.
Fred is on. Okay, great. So Fred,
how could I miss this, Michael? I mean, this is exciting stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think, whether we're talking about, low latency, trading applications, or monthly or quarterly reports, or whatever it is, in different applications, we're there to support those different timescales, and we're there to show how to bring data to the right time and the right space to make a decision. So Fred, what is your angle on this? I know that we got pretty excited about Nadi and Ben showing up at the conference.
Well, I'll tell you what, first off, we do these a lot. And I think this event in particular, Michael, is probably going to be the best TIBCO Analytics Forum ever. We've got more people registered for it than we've ever had in the history of this event going on. And it's because of this great content set that you put together. And not only do I think it's interesting that we've got, clearly Ben, who is, one of the experts, next to you, we've got Nadia, and what she does, and not looking at the data, but she really starts with the art in mind and then brings it back into the data. And the fact that we're actually going to reward people to possibly win some of these books that these both people are coming out with. I mean, what's not to miss here? It's going to be so fun.
No, absolutely. And some of the things she's going to be talking about that I see on the screen here, this top left-hand graphic is satellites that are in space, and what is their position in space, and what is their size, and what do they do? And it blew my mind to see how many satellites we've got circling around the Earth. And so, yeah, he's going to show that. I mean, the one right next to it, this is her spin on the gold record. So it looks like a gold record that is kind of hanging on the wall of a record executive or whatever. It's even, the circular thing looks like the record and so on. But inside of that, she's got the analysis of the actual sound waves that are, being streamed across Spotify or Apple Music. And, this is an individual song that she's got. I guess this one's called Summer Days, and what it looks like, from the actual sound waves, and how that evokes different emotion in the music. So she really digs down into the data, but she displays it in this amazing kind of way, and
it's incredible.
It really is incredible, right, Fred?
I can just say, because I've been privy to some of the conversations that you, and getting ready for the event with Nadi and Ben, there's just so many tidbits that fire me up. And I think one of the things that is, I think, really so apropos is the theme about time and space, and thinking about how, we work with many of our largest customers, and thinking about not just, microseconds, like with the Formula One team, and how important it is to just in every lap think about how critical that is to how people even do quarterly reporting, all with this great technology that we have to analyze data effectively, to make decisions at the right moment and really democratize it across the board. And so I think not only will Ben kind of share some of that great information, but to see data in an artistic form is truly, truly remarkable. So you said,
yeah, and we've got Ben covering the AI side and Nadi covering the presentation side. Hey, Neil, can we run a video of one of these folks showing a bit of a preview of what they're going to be speaking about?
Absolutely. We got a little video clip with Nadi, so let me go ahead and show that, put that on the screen here.
Hey there, all you visual analytics enthusiasts. I am super excited about TAF, TIBCO Analytics Forum 2022, and especially about our first keynote speaker, Nadi Bremer. Nadi is a data visualization artist. She's an astronomer, data scientist, and data viz specialist. She's created visual analytics and art for Google, Sony, UNICEF, New York Times, and a best-selling book, Data Sketches. Nadi, excited to have you at TAF22.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, I'm really excited to be there.
Fantastic. Hey, cool. Can you show us some of your favorite work?
Yes, of course. So everything I do is on my website. And I have lots of work, but let me show you some of my favorite ones. And I love cats and dogs, and I was really excited to create this sort of website story for Google News Lab called Why Do Cats and Dogs, which goes into a very fascinating data set about what people search on Google that starts with why does my cat or why does a dog, these kinds of things. And it contains several elaborate visualizations that are kind of whimsical and funny because it's kind of a funny data set, and looks into the different aspects of, what do people want to know about their cats and dogs. It works on mobile, it works on desktop. So this is one of my biggest projects, but also one of my favorite ones. That's probably combined because I just loved working on it so much.
That's fantastic. And just a quick tour, we'll go back to your website because folks, Nadi's going to draw from all of these amazing projects that she's been working on over the years. And you can go check that out on visualcinnamon.com. And hey, we're excited to have everybody at the Analytics Forum, June 13th to the 15th, virtual event. It's free. So be there or be square. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, so that was just one. I think Nadi gave a preview of just one analysis of data she got from Google, where she got all the queries that people were making about, my cat or my dog doing something. And, oftentimes it was what did they eat or what weird things that they tried to do or stuff like that. But yeah, really great set of applications.
It's an excellent book, I gotta say. I've read all the Stephen Few books, the Tufte books, and this is like right up with there with a whole new side of data visualization, the abstract, the inspirational, the creativity. It's absolutely amazing. I would highly recommend this book for anyone that likes design, likes data visualization. Each page is awesome. Each page is like a work of art, and she has tips in there, JavaScript tips on how she actually created the visualization. So if you're trying to skill up and learn some JavaScript and learn some creative ways to use JavaScript, I would highly recommend the book.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get into her way she works as a JavaScript developer, and then we're going to jump out and look at sessions on Spotfire, which we've just added a JavaScript session, set of tools where you can be in Visual Studio writing your JavaScript, and you can mirror that in Spotfire and basically create and extend the graphics palette. And this session here, we're going to actually show you on 8:15, right after the keynotes on Monday, how to build a mod from scratch in Spotfire. We've been creating more than 20 or 30 or so of these mods and putting it on our community site. We're going to show you live how to build one. That's going to be exciting, Neil.
And I'm going to bring Jose on the screen right here. So Jose, you're going to be the architect of how we build a mod in the mod session. That's right. Is that right?
That's right, Neil. Thank you. And I'm very excited to share how to get started for developers on how to create Spotfire mods from scratch, have everything they need to do, set up their environment, and get started going. And not only that, you're going to also showcase all those visualizations available for just regular people to download and use them and enhance their visualizations and dashboards, analytics.
That's going to be awesome, Jose. Really awesome. And just to be able to do it hands-on. I mean, that's what this conference is about, right, Fred? I mean, we put out there the state-of-the-art best practice, but then we're also showing you how to do it yourself.
Exactly. I think one of the key exciting parts of this is not just really seeing some of these things, but getting tips and tricks on how to use them better from your peers. Like, this is a great user event that I think people are going to have their minds blown about the different capabilities that have been brought to bear through all of these great analytical tools. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. It's a developer type conference. And then Fred, Ben is back this year and, talking about human-centered AI. I think the kind of interesting angle that he's got is that, he wants to increase human control and increase automation. So it's like, sounds like a bit of a paradox, but, how you can actually do that. You can increase human control and increase automation to get to, a new level. And Ben has a really comprehensive review of how to do that from a software perspective, but also the ethical considerations, different policymakers to bring, this together. So we're pretty excited about that. And Fred, you and I have got a project going on with, Ben got to do some of his tree maps inducted into the Museum of Modern Art back in 2010. This one is a data set from U.S. Energy Information Administration that has data on CO2 emissions. And the size of the boxes is the CO2 emissions for different countries. And the color, varies according to the per capita CO2 emissions. And so we extended the data sets from the 2010 induction into the Museum of Modern Art to see what's been happening to these countries, over time as we go, across different years. So the theme of the conference, analytics in time and space, you're seeing, the sequence there of CO2 emissions, but you're also in a visual display, but you're also seeing them on a map as well. So you've got both the time progression as well as the location.
And I want to bring Jose back on the screen real quick. And Jose, you created this tree map as a Spotfire mod, right? It was inspired by Ben's work, right?
Yes, I created that tree map. It was not that difficult to create because you have all the tools and things that you need in order to get started. Everything, a lot of the visualization options comes from free with the Spotfire API. So it was pretty simple to create it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the different types of tree maps, we had a Marimekko tree map, and we had the point and click tree map, right?
Yes, there are a couple of tree maps that we develop.
Absolutely. And so we're pretty excited, Fred, to have Ben, now talking about his new work on human-centered AI. Ben is the, founding director of the Human Computer Interaction Lab at the University of Maryland. And so this is a lifetime work that he's put out there, and this book is pretty amazing.
Well, the fact that, not only is he really bringing, and I think you really hit it well, Michael, the human element of this, because, we've all seen movies like Terminator where, these machines take over the world, but not only is he breaking it down around making it human, but really the controls and thinking about the right way to use AI is amazing. The other part is, not only is Nadia, the artist, he's got things that are actually in the Modern Art Museum. And, you and I have been fortunate enough to see them up close. And it's just going to be really fun to see those.
Absolutely. So, Neil, shall we bring on, and then Neil and I are going to wrap it up on Wednesday with a presentation specifically targeted to analytics in time and space as part of the keynote session on Wednesday morning. So we've been working hard on this for the last year, and we've got some cool stuff to show you.
Yeah,
but
we
Neil,
will on that.
Go ahead. Sorry, Neil.
Yeah, just say, we'll have a little sample of that at the end of today's preview for everyone. But let's go ahead and move on into the some of the session previews. We have Tobias on the call. So Tobias, let me go ahead and bring you on the screen here. And Tobias, you're going to be doing a session on TIBCO Analytics What's Now, right?
Yeah, that's right. So first, I also want to say I have the book, so don't get jealous. It's great. I'm very inspired by Ben. I met many years ago, and I still kind of a mantra that I remember that it's not about what the computer can do, it's about what humans can do with the computer. And I think that's been guiding as we've developed Spotfire over the last 20 years. That's what it's all about. And so it's so exciting to kind of see all of this coming together, and Ben writing this book about human-centered AI. Obviously, we've had a lot of AI into Spotfire, but always with that guiding principle about the person and the human should be in control. So anyway, obviously, TAF is all about analytics, and you're going to see some amazing examples of customers doing tremendous analytics and going deeper. So what I would do though in my session, I will take a little bit of a step back and give you an idea of how we think about the product strategy at TIBCO around our data management and analytics product. So I'll talk about kind of what the end goal is, taking data which you have on left-hand side of this and taking it all the way to actions, and talk a little bit about kind of what's in the way, what's kind of causing friction, challenges that you may have around data. So you can't create the beautiful visualizations that Nadia create without actually having a strategy for how to get the data assembled and how to make sure that it is clean, and how to make sure that you have one version of the truth, and obviously we know that, even Nadi is being an example of a single individual stellar contributor. At most of our customers, there are multiple people working with the same data. So how you deliver it is a really important aspect of it. So I will be diving into these boxes and talk about the different TIBCO products that make up our data management and analytics platform.
That's going to be great, Tobias. And the different color codes you've got here for the different pillars of our portfolio, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I tried to put a little bit of information visualization spin on it using a little color and in it. So yeah, it matches our connect, unify, and predict portfolio for sure.
Yeah, so you'll see a bit about integrating data in real time, and in the blue box there, and you'll see data quality, master data management, metadata, data delivery, all about tools that manage data at rest, and real time in there as well. And then analytics, which is going to be the focus of the conference, obviously, with Spotfire and WebFOCUS in particular. And TIBCO also has been infusing AI across these products. Along the bottom there, Tobias, can you say a bit about that?
Yeah, exactly. So that it's kind of front and center. Obviously, I mentioned that we're doing a lot with AI inside of Spotfire, but our overall philosophy is basically that AI and machine learning really helps automate processes within each of the steps in the platform, right? Finding the right data sources, automatically identifying problems with your data, automatically suggesting ways to clean it, automatically doing matching in a smart way. So yeah, definitely kind of, I think a couple of years ago, we probably put AI inside of the boxes. And some of you may know that we introduced TIBCO Model Ops recently, which is the idea that you want to have a centralized, externalized view of AI so you can manage it outside instead of it being sort of black box sitting inside of your tool. So that's again kind of an homage a little bit to kind of Ben's ideas about the humans being in control and not the AI sort of running amok inside of your applications.
Model Ops is a whole session in TAF. I'm really excited about the potential with Model Ops. We don't have a preview for it, but you'll just have to join the free session at TAF next week and see Arnaud present on how Model Ops is working, what's the latest and greatest with that platform.
For sure. There's almost a session on every box in this chart, and there's also actually at least one, maybe more. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, but on the whole idea of taking data to action. So really going from left to right in this chart. We're diving into that deeply, especially with sort of some of the exciting announcements we're doing around Spotfire.
Yeah, and getting this overview of the portfolio, I think, really helps set context as well for folks who are, analytics centric. But what's that joke about? Data scientists spend 80% of their time preparing data and 20% of their time complaining about preparing data. So it's getting a context is useful for even if you're a pure Python developer.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the slides from here, and I'll move on to our next speaker.
Okay.
I think we have Porter and Vijay. Porter, do you want to say hi to everyone? I know we had you yesterday.
Hi, great to be here, and super excited about all the WebFOCUS sessions at TAF, but not just those, right? All of the interesting sessions that you guys are reviewing today.
And hey, Vijay, how are you doing today?
Hey, Neil. Hey, everyone. It's really great to be here. Oh my God, this is an amazing lineup we have here, and just hearing it literally gave me goosebumps here. So really excited to be speaking about all these things we have coming up.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get going into your slides. You got a couple things prepared to show us today, right?
We do, and I'll kick it off. And for those of you that aren't super familiar with WebFOCUS, you could think of WebFOCUS as, just the best enterprise reporting solution in the world. And really, our expertise starts with reporting, as you look at the middle there. And what we're able to do is create this broad variety of reports that can then be dispersed and distributed in a variety of different formats. You'll notice you can actually build applications around these, so surface a lot of parameters and design these guided workflows that use progressive disclosure. A lot of our customers in the public sector or in healthcare or credit union are combining WebFOCUS with other data management and data science capabilities to create analytic applications. WebFOCUS is the leader in the world of large-scale deployments. We've got many customers with deployments that are customer-facing applications, 25 million users, 5 million users. But we also turn our eye to the future. What do we think, like this non-technical consumer, what would be the future of their experience? All of these things wrapped into a number of sessions that we're going to see at TAF. The session that I'm going to be presenting on what's new and what's next with WebFOCUS, I've been spending a lot of time integrating WebFOCUS with the other products at TIBCO. Neil, if you can advance the slide, I'll just give you a little preview here. So, when we say we do customer-facing applications, this would be an example of maybe what a financial advisor would see when they log in and they want to visualize their book of business. If you look at the tile in the top and the middle, well, a lot of times they want to know things like, hey, which investor is at greatest risk of churn? And so with the integration work we're doing with TIBCO Data Science, we can deliver insights like that at scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a way that's understandable by non-technical consumers, like a financial advisor. Neil, if you go to the next slide, we're also integrating with TIBCO Streaming. So a lot of times we have customers that they have all of this data. Police departments are a good example as well. This is an example from a warehouse. But we have all of this data and combining real-time data with near real-time data and historical data in a dashboard. This is looking at sensors on a refrigeration unit in a warehouse. Being able to, again, to surface this to someone that's not a data scientist, not someone that's super technical, but allowing them to understand what's happening and then prescribe an action and take an action as well, are some of the new use cases that we're excited to be able to solve with the integration of these other products. And so I'm going to be going through all the other TIBCO products that WebFOCUS is integrating with.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I think, Vijay, you're going to be handling the platform that enables Porter to do that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly. And that's the super fun part. So thanks, Porter, for the preview. And thank you, Michael and Tobias. So like Tobias was covering, I think you this time the WebFOCUS fans are really going to be drooling over these sessions. And I think we heard a lot of our customers loud and clear. And this is kind of a culmination of some of the things we are going to show them. So first and foremost, I think we are going to discuss some of the really great features in Nino. So Porter will be covering that. There'll be other product managers like Angela who will be talking about what we have done in Designer. I don't want to give too much out, but we have staging tables, which was a big ask, available now. We're going to do a preview of that. Then there is a lot of features on the multi-layer map, which we're going to be discussing and showing some of those things. But additionally, the most important thing is some of the changes we have done since we become TIBCO, right? And some of the things which our customers have been waiting for, especially around cloud and containerization. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to show some of those capabilities, how those look. And more importantly, like Porter was alluding to, how is the synergy going to be built with WebFOCUS and a lot of the other TIBCO products, right? So you heard a lot of those things last year when we were speaking in the specific IBI day on how we're going to do a better together story. So, well, good news, Nino is one of those first releases where we are going to start introducing a lot of those capabilities for our customers to start taking advantage of. Those will be TIBCO Streaming, TIBCO TDV, TIBCO Model Ops, and TIBCO Theme Studio to begin with. So just the tip of the iceberg. And without, again, giving too much away, we have TIBCO Cloud coming in the horizon. So we'll kind of preview that. And then last but not least is kind of how we are using DSML as an experience to embed within all of the things we do. And we have a hub here, which we introduced, which kind of bubbles up that unified responsive experience for all our users so that we can give you that one cohesive experience. So really, really excited. I think the WebFOCUS customers are going to be very happy with these sessions. We have a total of 3 sessions, 1 in the general session. We have 2 or 3 customers speaking about it. Michael is going to be speaking. Tobias is going to be kind of alluding to that. Additionally, we have more training sessions, which was a big ask by our customers. So we have a basic and an advanced training session also. So all in all, I'm super excited to be welcoming our customers next week, and I hope they all get to enjoy this awesome 2-day event.
That's great, Vijay. And yeah, just for our clarity of our viewers, DSML is data science and machine learning, and WebFOCUS 9 has got that in spades with instant insights as you click around, with statistical calculations. It's got ML functions for authoring right inside the authoring experience, your own models. It's got pre-trained models for metadata classification. So yeah, it's quite an experience. The new hub and the new designer and DSML infused throughout it. So yeah, we're pretty psyched about all the stuff that Porter and Vijay are going to be showing next week, and the training is going to be pretty killer. Just on Wednesday. So talking about Wednesday, Neil, who have we got next?
Next we have and thanks Porter and Vijay for joining. It's great to have WebFOCUS as part of TAF. TAF has historically been a more Spotfire driven conference, but now we're getting the WebFOCUS family in here. It's going to be really exciting. Sounds like you have a action-packed session going on. So thanks for joining us today. And
yeah, day two WebFOCUS is going to be awesome.
Thank you. And next we have Mike Alprin. I'm going to bring Mike Alprin onto the screen. How are you doing, Mike?
Hey, great. Hi, Neil.
So you're doing a session on digital twins. You want to tell us a little preview about what you'll cover?
Yeah, I do real quick preview. So, this is one of a number of TIBCO and customer sessions on manufacturing. Digital twins are a pretty popular topic at the moment, but there's still a fair amount of discussion about what they are. So digital twins are these virtual high-definition models of something connected to the real thing itself. They can continuously update as new data from the real thing kind of arrives and streams in. But one thing that's important is they're not generic models for a class of things, but they're really specific detailed models associated with a particular instance of a machine, a particular machine or a product or a factory. And they're useful. They help us make better decisions by predicting what the thing can do in the future, remotely accessing internal states, and a variety of other things. So we're going to show a number of examples of digital twins in the manufacturing space. In the production space, we'll be looking at digital twins for equipment, for a process, and for kind of this holistic kind of factory view, realized by looking at maps, real-time maps. In test, we'll show a product digital twin.
Mike, lost your microphone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yeah, we just had a little low microphone.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. So in test, we've got a product digital twin that we're going to use to understand and improve product yield. And finally, in the field, we can look at things that are operating, and we've got an example there of an automobile performance. So
great.
That's going to be awesome, Mike. I like that flow there. In terms of each of the components of a process, manufacturing process that we can create a twin for. The overall factory and all the way into the individual pieces.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of different types of digital twins that you can think about in a factory.
Yeah. So who we got next, Neil? Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Next is me. I'm going to be a little quick here and just tell you a little bit about the Spotfire spatial analytics that we're going to be doing. So the spatial analytics we have, let me advance the slide here. We have a lot of new Spotfire data functions that we're going to be talking about. So there's over 45 data functions for free in the TIBCO community. And we're going to be going over some things like routing and finding the least cost path. And I won't give away too much, but one of the cool ones is actually geocoding. And this geocoding, let me see if I can play this video. Well, it looks like my slide's locked up. Looks like I'm off. I can't play this video, but just to tell you a little bit about it, assume you have a bunch of locations on a map, but these locations are only given to you in addresses, and you want to be able to map them out. The geocoding capability will actually look up addresses and then take those addresses and give you latitude and longitudes in return that you can then plot on the map for your visual analytics needs. So we're going to show geocoding, reverse geocoding. We're going to show what's new with the data function flyouts and the data function capabilities. It's going to be an exciting session, and it really ties into our theme of analytics in time and space, where we're using the spatial and location analytics to drive insights.
Awesome, Neil. I know that you and I know are just so into spatial analytics. That's going to be one of the top sessions for my my dance card, at least. So yeah, I highly recommend this session to everybody. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you know, we do it each year. We try to have our top tips for geoanalytics, and each year we work hard on seeing what can we come up with for more geospatial capabilities. Spotfire is already a very strong geospatial platform, but being able to do deeper analytics and more spatial statistics, what can we come up with over the year? And then at TAF, we announce it and we show what we've been working on. So last year we did a top 10 tricks, and this year we're going to have 8 new data functions to talk about.
That's awesome. Who else we got, Neil?
I think that's it for today's preview. We just have you and me to talk a little bit about the analytics in time and space session.
Yeah. So day 3, Neil and I are going to bookend the whole conference by showing our recent work on analytics in time and space. So let's take a quick tour of this, Neil. I think in analytics in time, we're going to be looking at all sorts of time series data, whether it's multivariate time series for statistical process control, or whether it's forecasting from an individual time series, or it looks like in the top right-hand corner there, we've got 2 time series that we're doing a differencing on. You're going to cover that in one of the sessions you're giving, Neil, right?
Right, that's right. Yeah, Jose is going to show us. I'm reading Jose back in. He's still hanging around with us. Jose, you're going to be showing us how to create that difference plot, that difference chart mod.
Exactly, on the big square with the white background, that one, yes. We're going to create that in 15 minutes.
15.
All right. As a mod.
As a mod, right.
That's awesome. With 2 time series, I guess what is the red color is in between them and the blue color is on the side or something? How's that work?
Yeah, so that visualization is comparing the temperatures between New York and San Francisco. So the orange shows warmer days, and blue indicates colder days.
Wow. There's only a couple of blue things there. I live in San Francisco, so I get the picture. New York is very cold in a couple of months, but the rest of the year, San Francisco is just kind of pretty chilly. So that's going to be fun. Really great to see that. And there's a lot of other things on this slide there. I can see some univariate statistical process control. I can see a breakdown of time series into the trend and the seasonality. Yeah, this is going to be great. What else we got, Neil? We got some specialized space analytics, right?
Like I was talking about with the spatial analytics, we're going to actually have a session that's focused, and this time and space session is really geared for the analyst and for the data viz practitioner. How can we help you learn how to represent your data spatially? How can we go to geospatial principles? How can we talk about what are the key components that make up a spatial visualization and how you can use that for those spatial insights? So we have a lot of sessions or a lot of content that we're going to talk about. You can see there's some non-geographical maps where there's the injury map here. There's some COVID-19 and employment data. We have some Voronoi polygons for clustering. There's creating polygons from scratch out of points. There's trade areas here. A lot going on, Michael.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I even see the San Francisco airport top right-hand side there. I'm a frequent visitor of that. I know the layout there. But yeah, being able to kind of interactively explore different overlay shape files or analytics that show up where you might want to walk or whatever. And then I see down the bottom we've got a Voronoi tessellation where we're mapping one layer of data to another layer in a efficient manner, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's looking at clinic locations where you can actually find the centroids of the different patients and find the optimal location to place clinics for them. So we'll talk about more about that during the conference.
Yeah, I see some climate data in the top left there, that little micro contour map. I see, some wells that are being drilled or completed, laid out there to, understand where you might hit one frac, might hit another one. All kinds of stuff, a network chart. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome session, Neil.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So this is a summary, of what we got going on for 3 days. Michael, you want to walk us through?
Yeah, we'll walk it through. So day one, Nadi, I'm going to have a chat with Nadi about, she's a data viz guru. You saw some of her awesome work. Tobias is going to come on after that, and Nicholas, what's giving you a view across the portfolio and also what's new and what's next in Spotfire. Day two, Ben's going to kick it off with the human-centered AI stuff. Feed into VJ on what's new and next in WebFOCUS, including the new AI stuff in WebFOCUS. Dave and his TIBCO team are going to take you end-to-end data management and analytics, bringing data from different sources, real-time and at-rest data, integrating that, doing data science on it, publishing out to visual analytics, real-time data. It's going to be terrific. Day three, we've got our Chief Operating Officer, Matt Quinn, who's going to talk about the history of data and the growth of data. Neil and I are going to bring out this visual analytics in time and space as a focus session. We've got this great hackathon on sustainable energy, and then a training to wrap it up.
Yeah, and I really want to emphasize the training. I have people in the Dr. Spotfire community ask me all the time, how can I get more training? We have the Spotfire Enablement Hub, but if you're looking for more formalized training, we have these training sessions, and this is absolutely free to you. So definitely take advantage of that. The hackathon, I think the hackathon's full right now. It's on wait list, but you can still sign up and get on the wait list. If people don't show up, then you can compete in the hackathon. But those, day three is all about interactivity and, really talking about how do we skill up our audience? How do we improve your skills? Day one, you have the visualization themes with Nadia and Michael talking data viz. And then day two, you have the humanizing AI. So data viz day, AI day, and then the user day, really focus on user day on day three.
Absolutely. So yeah, looking forward to you guys showing up to the conference. There's going to be a lot of us there. We'll do live chat during the sessions. It's going to be great. We'll have a lot of fun. And with that, Neil, thank you for bringing all this together. And the Dr. Spotfire program has just been awesome for us this year, and we're looking forward to seeing you at this conference next week.
Absolutely, Michael. This was a lot of fun. So that's it for the preview. Go ahead and join for free next week and get the full-blown experience. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you next week.
Cheers.